Hi, friends. Welcome back to New American Youth Ballet Presents. I am so honored today to have Osiel Gouneo come in with us. I found your video, Diana Anaxion, on YouTube, and truly it was one of the best variations I've ever seen in my life. Just your power and your ease.
Well, actually, it was my mother's idea. I was very, how can I put it? I was quite busy boy when I was younger, and I tried many things, martial arts. I tried baseball. I tried, a lot of sports to get my mind like focused on something. Yes, I wanted to be a musician. That's right. So I love music so much. And then my mother took me to the art schools, and the director had a meeting with everybody, with all the parents, asking them, I've seen that you've been taking all your kids to music, to the music area, but why? My question is, why do you take them to dance area? And my mother all of a sudden was like, well, I mean, that would be, I haven't seen, that was her words. I haven't seen many black male dancers, and I don't know if you could get to do something with it. That would be, it might be special, but only if you like it. Do you agree with it? I was only 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah.
I was aware of what you're talking about, but I will. If you said that that's the right thing to do, then I'm going to give it a try. So be quite tough, because for a 9 years old kid to have such a discipline in social art, that you have to be quite strict, quite dogmatic, and quite strict. So you have to be quite focused, and that for a young kid it was quite a difficult thing to do, especially if you don't have a reference. So for me,
did people give you a hard time about it?
Yeah, I had a.
Did other boys that you were friends with, did they give you a tough time about it?
No. Actually, no. I mean, they were actually quite supportive about it. I never suffered any discrimination at home, especially that they didn't understand what I was doing in the first place.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Once a couple of years go by, and then I bumped into a video cassette of Carlos Acosta and Rolando, also Jose Manuel Carreño. So basically, stars, and then it was when something dramatically just changed. It went like a boom. It was like, wow. I mean, this is something completely different to what I'm doing right now. So I asked my teachers, like, at any time, would I ever get there? Like, would I ever get to do these jumps or lift the ballerina like this and like that? And I mean, they'll go through exactly the same thing you're doing right now. And the most funny thing is that they're still doing it. So after many years of experience on a stage, this is their training, this is their preparation to begin doing anything. And then from there, I just grew up an immense love for the art form, and I mean, the rest is, I would say, history.
Now I got to ask you about the training in Cuba, because
Mhm.
when I've seen ballets in Cuba, I haven't had the chance to go, but when I've seen the excitement that comes with it, it's like a sports event. What's,
Mm.
do you feel it's loved, culturally loved, and the dancers are pushed differently than maybe in the States? Like what do you think the major difference is? Because there's an excitement and a level that's kind of out of this world.
Imagine, my analogy about it is, imagine you going to a place where you know there is no food in a regular basis. So, and all of a sudden, once a while, once every 6 months, somebody comes with a massive chunk of food. Even if it is not the best quality, you will love it.
Yes.
The only time that you can actually appreciate something that you know is going to be good for you.
Yes.
And that's exactly what happened with Cuba and social media at the time. We didn't have enough. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have,
Yeah.
like, all we have was every 2 years, the ballet festival that everybody came around, especially me that wasn't from Havana itself. So I was from a different town, so I didn't have the possibility as any other kid from Havana that have the National Ballet of Cuba going to a theater maybe every second weekend or something like this, and they will appreciate like at first hand the art form. But I didn't have that possibility. So for me was, I just took whatever I could and whatever I could put my hands on, and that was videos of everybody. So I would
Yes.
learn, would try to absorb all the information, and yeah, just trying to learn from watching. And that's exactly what I feel might be the difference. Like that hunger, that you don't have much
Yes.
from right now. You just want to watch a dancer. You just like in a small phone of this size, like you
Yep.
just type the name and there's like 100 videos of that person comes out.
Yes.
And that's a possibility that we have nowadays, but we didn't have it in like 20 years ago, especially in Cuba. People are still struggling with that. So that's one of the things that I believe is one of the tools. I will call it struggle.
Yes. But through that, it's hard to even describe it, but it's a different force. When I
Yeah.
see you step on stage, or some of the people you looked up to, because I was at performances, I saw Carlos and Jackson, and the power that you feel and the way they approach it, it's not just a role on stage, but it's kind of like you own it. And it's really, it's a different thing. And that's why I wanted to ask you about it. I've seen you've won some of the most prestigious competitions, awards. Competitions are becoming a big part of dancers' life. What is your best advice for a dancer going into a competition? How do you approach competition?
Well, I'll take it from the most I would just give you an advice from the most humble place. You can see dancers winning competitions, a lot of it, winning a lot of competitions, but school life is completely different to company's life. So you don't have the same amount of time that you have to prepare a competition, that you prepare a solo or two or one part a day, or and then 4 months working on that. And
that's not reality, is it?
Not reality. That's not reality. Advice is to not take it so serious, because people get beat down a lot every time they don't win a competition. I've been in that place, and then I realized, like, oh my God, like my life is completely different to what I thought it would be, because sometimes I even have 5 days to put a performance.
That's
sometimes
right.
So it is, my advice is just to learn from that, because the good thing about competitions is that you interact with different schools and you can absorb different, you can see up close different styles and how people would do, let's say, a jump, which is the same jump with different schools. So you would see that kind of things. And also it's an opportunity to sort of sharpen out a little bit more your technique, because you're working on the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So that's a good thing about it. But I am not a loyal believer in competitions, because it's an art form, it's subjective, and for what some people is fantastic, for the other people can be like no so. You know what I mean? So I never took it too serious. My advice actually is just whatever you do on a stage, if you believe what you're doing on the stage, if you fully believe what you're doing on the stage, then that will come across the way you should. That's my only take on this. It's like the same thing, back to what you were saying, when you see someone like Carlos, you see someone like Jose Carreño or Rolando Sarabia or any other, or Baryshnikov himself. So there were people that they were convinced about what they were doing on stage. There was no second thoughts about anything. It's like go, this is me. As I am. It's like take me as I am feeling.
And they're all completely different. What they bring to each role is its own unique quality. It's not a carbon copy of somebody else. Exactly. And that's what I saw. And I keep going back to that variation, because you're doing this multiple turns and then you stop in arabesque. And you don't just do it once. I see this consistently. The first time it worked for you, where you stopped in arabesque, or you stopped and just held it, how do you keep the consistency of that? Did that come through your training, or was that your own unique? Because not many people do it like that on stage consistently.
No, because I believe, I mean, it's actually a good question, because, for instance, like if you tell a dancer that does some things like consistently like this, we all have different approaches to things. I don't turn or jump for the sake of turning or jumping. For instance, like I try to play a lot with musicality. And there are times that if the music is too fast, let's just say too fast, I don't get to open in arabesque, but maybe I open in a different position. Like I don't try to fight it, I have to fight there. Or no, no,
Yes.
no. It's a feeling. You dance by feeling as well. There's a technique behind, but the technique is just a backup. You know, you dance
Yes.
by feeling. There have been many times where I don't actually did it in arabesque, and I try, instead of doing arabesque in effacé, I just did it in like croisé, and because the music led me there. So I don't get married to ideas. I just
See, that's why it's different, because now you can go on Instagram and you can find dancers doing insane amounts of turns, insane tricks, right? But
yeah.
when I see you integrate it in a variation, I'm not just looking at that. It's part of a story that you're telling. And that's why I was so freaking excited to talk to you, because a lot of times now with the competition, it's becoming a gimmick. It's not telling a story. It's not from an artistic place. And when you talk about musicality, it's enhancing the role. And that's what makes it different. That's what makes it art, doesn't it?
That's right.
You know, you feel something. You don't just see I don't know, just a trick, but you feel it too. Like it enhances what you're trying to say.
That's right. That's right. Right. And as I said before, I think, for instance, like if you have to go on a streak of 10 performances, you cannot by any means like try to replicate the previous one.
Right.
You know?
That's why I love live music.
Exactly.
People don't understand it. It's important. It's different every time.
Yes, especially if you're dancing with orchestra, you know, it's like,
yes, you can play with that.
Exactly. It might come flying one day, and the other day you might be just the conductor might be falling asleep. But
right.
Have to go with it, and it is the way it is. So that's what makes, and I don't know, it's just try to get the best out of the situation. Okay, today was fast, then I dance like sharper. My movement has to be a little bit more like hectic in a way, but at the same time, like readable, you know, and maybe if the music is a little bit too stretched, then I have the possibility of being a little bit more more lyrical in some areas. So I mean, it's just balancing that without breaking the actual style of wherever you're dancing. But yeah, I mean, music is the most important thing for me. Musicality. Without musicality, I have caught myself at times like falling out of things because I was just thinking about the step, not thinking about where the music is actually taking me. Like I know that the step goes in that direction, but how? Like it's on the upbeat, on the downbeat, on that kind of so that for me is the most important thing.
I read somewhere, I saw that you broke your leg. Is that right?
Yeah.
Jeez. And you were out for about a year.
Almost, yes.
What was your recovery? What was the mental, like, how did you stay strong mentally from that? Because a lot of dancers, you have journeys where you have like a roller coaster ride. How did you come back strong, and what did you do mentally to keep yourself, positive? Because that's rough.
Yeah, I mean, like now I am 32 years old now, and let's just say that happens at the age of 25, 24, 23, 24. And yeah, and then, at that very time, you're asking yourself, well, why? Like, why me? But why does things like this have to happen to me if I was in such a good like run at the moment and la 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 la. So nowadays, I thank that injury like a lot.
Why?
Why? Because it taught me that I cannot dance only one way. That I have to be able to move myself very slow and very fast and in many different tempos. So I was basically killing my leg by always trying to go on the high beat and trying to basically, and that kills your legs in a way. If you do certain amounts of performance with the same input, you for yourself, you know, in a way, and you learn nothing from it because you just like keeping on doing exactly the same thing over and over and over and over again without experiencing, without finding new ways. And what I found, maybe I don't know, maybe you can see that there are donkeys or actions or Corsair, for instance. Like I have asked myself personally, the conductor, go fast, like fly. And I see in the comments sometimes it makes me laugh, like, why so fast and why so this? Because people don't understand when they are not in the theater, when they are not feeling that rush, that adrenaline that is trying to make, like that kind of excitement, you know, that the music is giving you at the moment. And that same excitement, I'm feeling it myself. If I'm feeling, I'm transferring that to you. So that for me was an approach that came from broken leg. I wasn't.
Wait, after the broken leg, you prefer the tempo quicker?
Yeah, but not always in certain things. But the thing is, like, I discovered that I could do that thanks to the broken leg. I wouldn't be able to do rubies, or I wouldn't be able to do any other balancing piece, or even Ramansky, with sometimes flying.
Yeah.
And I would be able to move the way I move nowadays if it wouldn't be because I learned from that experience. And the funny thing is, I'm still learning from it. So,
did any doctor at some point tell you, I don't think you're going to be able to dance again?
Yeah, they always say that. Yeah, I mean, I went away from it. Like, I really tried to relax, and you know, as I said before, I had a very, very long time to think about the next move, how I want to approach my dancing, like how I would like to, like where I would like to be. And I know it was a wonderful period, because after that, I've never been busier. Yeah, it was just that. And after that, I mean, all these actions and this and that, they all came after that.
So wait a minute, was that variation?
Yeah,
after you broke?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That was after you broke your leg?
Yes, that's right.
Unbelievable. I'm going to hold on to that. I'm going to hold on to that piece of information, because sometimes you go through very discouraging, dark times, and to know what's possible.
Hi, how are you?
Good, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Adagio or Allegro?
Well, that depends, but Adagio, I will say.
Okay. Favorite healthy food?
Well, I would say sweet potatoes. I love it.
Yeah. Favorite junk food?
Fried sweet potatoes.
Good. Who's your favorite composer?
My favorite composer? Oh my God. Well, Philip Glass is one of them.
Favorite ballet role?
So far, Degree in Manon and Oniegin, both of them.
And least favorite ballet role?
Least favorite, Park from Midsummer Night's Dream. I hate it.
Yeah. What's your ideal day off like?
Well, I would say being shoeless in my street right in front of my home with my brothers and my mom.
Well, we will let you know when this airs, but I also know you're a father, so this will typically air on a Sunday. So can I wish you a happy Father's Day in advance?
Thank you so much.
And this was truly a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
No, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you, and I wish you a wonderful Sunday. Every time you go on stage, your mind needs to be prepared. In my dance masterclass, I will show you my zero gravity technique.
It's not a bigger jump, it's a bigger picture.
You want to jump higher, you want to turn more, but guys, that's not what ballet is about.
I'm coming to invite you to my dance masterclass.
What I'm going to teach you is something that anyone can do.
Oh my God.
The little things that you add in your daily life, the little challenges.
The music can be slow, but you cannot be slow. Create rhythm in your dancing.
You are the one who has to believe that you can make it. Don't be lazy. Let's start.